Now, hi guys, welcome to the Pearl Market today. We're doing a panzanella using all the luscious ingredients from various vendors. I think you'll enjoy it. We're going to start with the pesto. Sorry, what was that? Oh, there's a little bit of an echo. If you can't hear me, I'm happy to speak up, so just raise your hand up at me. So I started the pesto earlier, but I'm going to add to it. And we had so many beautiful greens, and this is the time of year that greens are really in season. One of my favorites to use is this broccoli leaf. It's got the flavor of broccoli, it's nice and sweet. So, it's pretty tender considering you would think some of the other greens are a little tough. And typically you braise them with bacon or onion. But today we're going to use them in a pesto and show you that even though something that's not typically in your wheelhouse for a pesto is very delicious. With just a little tweaking, and you can round out the flavors. So I'm adding some of the broccoli leaf, lots of basil for the sweetness. And then we have this beautiful lemon verbena. It literally tastes like you're eating lemons without the acidity. And that'll give out a nice flavor to our pesto. And I have some oregano here, a little oregano. We'll add some parsley. I got most of the herbs are from the hydroponic farm over here. So typically in pesto, you have pine nuts. We're going to use these delicious pecans that are Texas grown, and you can get them here. Really sweet. Gives a nice background to our pesto. Have some Parmesan. Excuse me for a second. Parmesan is essential, but you can use another cheese like Pecorino Romano. That's really delicious as well. Add about half a cup. Definitely got to get some garlic in there. I'm going to smash it up so it gets evenly distributed. Now we're going to use the zest and juice of a lemon. If you don't have a lemon at home, you can use vinegar, any type of, like today we're going to use a sherry vinegar. But if you have some red wine vinegar, whatever you have in your pantry, we're only going to use a little bit. But you need a little acidity and brightness. Do you guys make pesto at home? What do you like to use? Do you use it traditional style?
Traditional style. So this is interesting.
You can use any nut. Pistachios are really amazing, but the pecans are really nice. I think you'll like them. I use this little strainer to make sure seeds don't get in because they can impart a bitter taste. Now, if you don't have a blender at home, a lot of people don't have a high-speed blender. In the old days, and not too long ago, old days, but traditionally this dish is from Tuscany. They'd make it more like in a mortar and pestle and just crush it. So you can be as rustic as you want to on this. There's no right or wrong. A little salt. Okay, we're gonna add a little oil. And you're gonna keep adjusting. You're gonna taste this a few times to make sure you get the right flavor. So one thing I like to do when you're using a high-speed blender is add a chip of ice, because the friction that is created creates heat, and then that starts to cook the herbs and turns them a little bit of a brown color, and that's not really attractive. So just remember to add like 1 or 2 chips of ice. A little crushed red pepper. Whoa. Thank you. Product every few, as you're going along, because sometimes you need salt, sometimes you need a little more acid. And you don't want to just dump it on your salad and then regret it afterwards when it's like really bland or too salty. And I like to add salt as I'm going along because you can always add more, but you can't take it back out once you put it in. So, a tasting spoon here. Here, right here. That's actually perfect. Maybe a little less. So this is a sherry vinegar. I really like the background flavor of this, but like I said, you can use apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, whatever you have in your pantry. White balsamic would be delicious as well. I like to wear gloves for lots of reasons. One, I was trained to kind of do that in the professional kitchen, but two, you get to make a mess with yourself. Like you can get your hands really in there. Or if someone calls you while you're cooking, you can rip your gloves off and answer the phone. Let's see here. So do you traditionally do the pesto for pasta? Or yeah. That's what's great about this one. You can put it on pasta, you can put it over potatoes, any starch really. Okay, so to this bowl, we have bread from Soli Luna, and it's so delicious. But oftentimes when you walk by the bakery, you're like, oh, I want a loaf of that, I want a loaf of that, and you get so much, and you can't eat it all. And it's fresh bread, so it can go stale pretty quickly. So one thing you can do with that bread, or that stale bread, is make this panzanella. So we're gonna add 2 kinds of bread today. We have the traditional white batard, and then we have the rosemary sourdough. You can even use cornbread. Say you have a lot of leftover cornbread from your Thanksgiving dinner the next day with your leftovers, make a panzanella. That here. So we got a variety. One thing I love about this dish too, typically you use tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, but whatever you find in the market or whatever's in your fridge, you can use that. You can use radishes, squash. Ooh, the bees are coming out. The more color, the better. I like to add various tomatoes. I have some orange. I've got traditional cherries. Get some. Here's a yellow. I like to make everything bite-sized. It's a little cumbersome if you make the chunks of tomato too big or the peppers too big. The bees like tomatoes as well. We've had some beautiful purple peppers out there today. That'll add some nice color to the dish. Again, if you have gloves on, you can just rip through the seeds and the stems. And if you make enough extra pesto, you can use it throughout the week on different dishes, even on your eggs. I made a big pot of carrot soup last night, and you can use a little drizzle over the top. Add some of those. Maybe a lot of green pepper too for fun. What are some of the things you typically buy when you come down here?
Today bread.
Bread. Okay, good. We have a recipe here for you too that you can take home with you. You can add golden raisins to this. You can add as many different things you can think of. Dried cranberries. Oh, cucumber. Cucumber goes really well in here because it's bright, refreshing. Again, I'm trying to get bite size in here, but if you want to make it rustic, it's okay to make little discs. However you like it at home is fine. Okay, I think we got enough good stuff in there. Now for the fun part, get your hands dirty. These blenders are great, but they are super high power, and any blender will work, but like I said, it's okay to use mortar and pestle. Whatever you have at home works. See, we were able to maintain that bright green color by keeping that ice cube in there. Now, if you let the bread dry out overnight or put it in the oven, it'll soak up the dressing a little easier. Also going to add some fresh mozzarella. I think the fattiness from the cheese really soaks up the flavors well and is a good accompaniment to the bread, and the acid from the tomatoes. Okay, added a little extra cheese because no one ever got upset with extra cheese. Okay, so who wants a sample? Awesome.
Quick volunteer.
Well, thanks for coming today for the, if you have any questions, I'm here for the rest of the afternoon, so feel free to come up and ask.